I think XCN is going to be a big narrative during this bull run, even though that's not financial advice, but 25 cents is still my price target. And some people may be thinking, okay, XCN is going to have the straight shot all the way up to 25 cents. Well, that's actually not going to be true in my opinion. Even despite XCN doing absolutely amazing, which I made a very good call on, by the way, I don't think it's going to be the straight shot all the way to 25 cents. I think there's going to be pullbacks along the way, but I think generally speaking, the direction is going to be very positive. Now, some people may be thinking, oh yeah, if it's a good project, that means it's only going to pump. It's never going to have a pullback. Well, that's not true in my opinion. Take a look at Bitcoin. Did it have a straight shot all the way from $1 all the way to over 100,000? No. There was multiple pullbacks along the way, multiple bear markets. So it doesn't necessarily mean that if a project is good, there's going to be the straight shot up. Along the way, people are going to take profits. Some people leave. Some people paper hand, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter in my opinion because I still do believe that the future of XCN is very bright because people like to often underestimate Onyx, but I think it's very special because after all, XCN, aka Onyx Coin, that is the native token of the Onyx protocol, and the Onyx protocol is a decentralized blockchain infrastructure that is designed to help improve financial services. Now, people may be thinking that this isn't going to be a big narrative, but I think it's going to be massive. A lot of the hype for XRP, for XLM, eventually it's going to trickle down to something like XCN. Now, people may think that Onyx isn't the most interesting or flashy project out there, and I'll agree with that because it's not the most flashy, but I think it gets the job done because people oftentimes ignore how massive the payments market could be, the global trade and finance market. They oftentimes think that, oh, if a project is not focused on AI or gaming or let's say something like meme coins, it has no future. But I disagree. I think a lot of the fans when it comes to XRP and XLM, as of right now, we're seeing many of them move on to XCN. Much like what we saw when it comes to Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, many of the fans did move on to Pepe. So the way I take a look at it is that this is a very special project. It's focused on the right market, and there's a lot of hype for projects like this as of right now, and I think it's going to continue on forward. Keep in mind, if Bitcoin were to go to the price at 150,000, 200,000, and let's say 250,000, man, I could very well see XCN just reach this whole nother level. Now, keep in mind though, I think hypothetically, in some cases, growth beyond a certain point could feel very exponential because take a look at Cardano's native token called ADA, for instance. Going from the price of around 3 cents to $1, that felt very difficult. But then to $2 and $3 eventually, that felt like a breeze. And the reason why is because I think beyond the price of $1, people got a lot of confirmation that, whoa, ADA is going to do good, so they believed in it. But when it comes to other cryptocurrencies, and also more specifically when it comes to something like XCN, I'm not going to wait for that, but hypothetically, a lot of people do wait for that, which is why I think growth beyond a certain point could feel very amazing. I think once XCN goes to the price of 5 cents, man, 25 cents really won't even feel that far away. Why? It's because 5 cents at that point, people are saying, well, 10 cents is just a 2x away. Then at that point, 20 cents is just a 2x from that, and 25 cents at that point is just within reaching distance. So I think beyond the price of 5 cents, man, it's up and away when it comes to XCN. Again, there could be pullbacks, but I'm just saying it could feel very amazing beyond that point, which is why I still do believe in XCN. People seem to think that it's reached its peak, but just think about how when it comes to Luna Classic, a project that's pretty much useless in my opinion, that even found a bottom and had a good pump. Take a look at, for instance, something like Klima DAO. That right there eventually found a bottom. Despite a lot of people pretty much forgetting about it, we're still seeing that find a bottom again. Take a look at Litecoin, for instance. I think that is not good whatsoever. And still, take a look at how much it went up, right? Especially back in 2021. Even as of right now, it still has a large following. If those projects can do good, why can't something like Onyx do good as well? Take into consideration how the payments market is currently valued at over $2 trillion. The global trade and finance market is predicted to be worth up to $5 trillion by 2028, according to Mordor Intelligence. This is a market that's on the rise. I think Onyx is a very special project. Sure, it's kind of piggybacking off the hype of XRP, XLM, XDC, but it's totally fine in my opinion. People, they want to look for the next big thing in the space, and I think XCN could very well be that. Yeah, sure, they might have missed out on the run when it comes to XLM, XRP, and also to a certain extent maybe XDC, but I think XCN still, man, if they missed out on that hypothetically, I think that is why there's something like XCN. And the way I view it is that even though Onyx doesn't have the best in terms of advertising. It doesn't have like the best exposure. I still think that it's pretty good nonetheless. And if something is listed on Coinbase, for instance, Gate.io, I highly doubt that this is going to be bad in terms of sort of having a good following, because people oftentimes like to argue that, oh, a project needs to advertise through athletes, celebrities. But I disagree. I think by being listed in major exchanges, that in and of itself is good advertising, because by being listed on these big exchanges, naturally, a lot of people who believe in cryptocurrencies anyways that use these exchanges, they're going to take a look at something like XCN. And I think they're going to be like, wow, this could be something amazing, especially once they see it perform very well. This could be fantastic. So that right there, I think, is more effective advertising than having an athlete or a celebrity promote their project that they want to promote, and then most of the followers don't even know what it is. I think that's not really efficient. It may sound a little bit flashy because people are like, whoa, imagine, let's say, hypothetically, Brad Pitt talked about this or Leonardo DiCaprio. But again, how does that even make sense? I think it's much better being listed in these major exchanges. And again, XCN at the price of 25 cents during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Keep in mind, if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $8 billion. Dogecoin reached over 80 billion back in 2021. I'm not saying that this is something that's achievable by every single project. However, for something this amazing, I really don't see why not. Even just achieving a glimpse of Dogecoin, by the way, that right there is around a 20x from here. So considering how much XCN has pumped, doing an additional 20x, it's not that bad in my opinion. Some people think that, if it doesn't do a 100x minimum, that means it's trash. Well, I think that a 20x from, again, considering how much it has pumped, I don't think it's that bad anyways. And I'm still going to be accumulating more and more XCN. I'm not stopping because there are so many bullish factors for this bull run. The Ethereum ETF, which I think is massive, the Bitcoin ETF, the number of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption. There's currently over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, more than ever before in history. Man, I think that when it comes to this, I just don't see why it would be bad. Also with a bunch of other good altcoins, of course. Now, people like to say that, why don't you acquire Bitcoin instead? XCN is complete trash. Well, here's the thing. I don't own any Bitcoin and I don't want to, because why would I own Bitcoin if something like XCN exists? People like to say, how about Michael Saylor? Take a look at how he accumulated Bitcoin. Well, here's the thing. I think in the past week, just from XCN alone, I think I probably outperformed his Bitcoin holdings percentage-wise. Now, people also may argue that, XCN is risky and all this. Well, theoretically, of course, it could be viewed as more risky than something like Bitcoin, but at the same time, it's not a microcap, so it's not terribly risky either. So I don't think it's that bad, and it's focused on a proven market. Again, it's pretty much focused on the same market as XLM, XRP, and XDC, so it's a proven market that works, and I don't see why it's so bad. Now, keep in mind, if Michael Saylor were to put $1 billion in Bitcoin, let's say he does a 2x, that's $2 billion right there, right? So he profited $1 billion. The average individual is putting, let's say, 1,000 to 10,000. If, let's say, something does a 2x, what is that really going to do? I don't know. However, this is just my perspective. I'm not telling you I'm going to do anything, but again, I think I probably made better calls than Michael Saylor. If I was, let's say, leading an enterprise, or let's say I have to talk to these shareholders and convince them, I would say that, hey, I'm going to acquire XCN instead of Bitcoin. Now, people may be shocked at that, and it may not sound as cool or as flashy in the media, but in my opinion, that's actually a better idea, because as a business, right, if let's say we're having this make-believe scenario, I'm going to look for how can I maximize profits? How can I earn the most? So that way I can put more resources into the business and actually grow it. What would have a better time in terms of aiding that, right? In terms of allowing for that to happen? Bitcoin or XCN? Bitcoin, let's face it, most bullish case scenario, it's going to do a 2.5x from here during this bull run. I'm not saying in 10, 20 years, but I'm just saying in the next 6 months to a year, I think that's like probably the max, maybe even more, who knows, 300,000, but really, I don't think it could reach like, let's say even $1 million. However, even besides that point, can XCN do a 20x from here? Hypothetically, yeah, why not? Reaching the price of 25 cents, I don't think it's too bad. What would have an easier time doing, let's say, even over a 10x at this point, XCN or Bitcoin? I think hands down it's going to be XCN. So with that argument, I'm going to put my foot down and say to the shareholders that, Bitcoin may sound cooler, but we're looking for hypothetical upside here, and that's why I choose XCN. So I think it's just much better, personally for me, instead of Bitcoin. And I think there's so many bullish factors. Instead of acquiring Bitcoin, I would rather acquire something that could do absolutely amazing as a result of Bitcoin doing good, if that makes sense. Because if Bitcoin does good, let's say it goes to $250,000, $300,000, XCN is going to do absolutely spectacular. So of course I'm going to be choosing that instead of Bitcoin. I'm not talking about 10 years ago. I'm not talking about what's going to do better in the next 10, 20, 30 years. I'm just saying at this point, XCN, that's my pick, and 25 cents wouldn't surprise me whatsoever because I think this could be such a massive narrative during this bull run and I really can't wait. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.